Hey Kelly, it's Vincent. I listened to what you told me about online booking and I added it to this prototype. So this is a prototype and what I'm looking for is for you to tell me what doesn't work here, where there's a gap, where there is something else you might need or something you might not need that would be in the way or making this harder to use instead of easier. So let me go to the top. So this is a prototype, so it's kind of just showing everything mashed into one place, but these would be different sections in the app. So, for example, there's online booking settings here. So the online booking settings would be in a settings place tucked away. But this is so that you could see really clearly. You'd have check mark for being able to enable or disable online booking. So if it's a widget in your website, you could just make it appear or disappear at will. If you think I don't want to use this, make it go away. You just click that and it would just vanish from your website, as an example, right? But let's say it's on, and you want to be able to control for who books dogs, just new customers, or I'm sorry, new customers and existing customers, or just existing customers. So we have this check mark there for. So if you only allowed online booking for existing customers, then the new customers wouldn't be able to select slots. They would just get a preview form. I'm going to click on it here. So a new customer appointment request, right? So they would fill this out and you would get a request. Then you can call them back or whatever and say, hey, we need a picture of your dog. That's what my cousin Katie does. She gets a picture. So the other thing was you mentioned wanting to have specific time slots where people could book you and other slots where they can't book you. And so I added that here. I put your name there. This is not real information. This is not in the app. This is just a prototype. So this would allow you and any other groomers at the salon to be available for online booking. So if you click that, you'd be available for online booking, and then you can specify the blocks of time that you're available to be booked. So you had mentioned something like 10 to 10:30, 12 to 12:30. There may have been other ones, but let's say you have these two slots available. So this would prevent people from booking outside of those slots. It would also prevent a dog that is too time consuming from being booked. So if you had a Great Pyrenees that was booked and it took an hour to do that Great Pyrenees, that person wouldn't fit in these time slots. So the system would look for another available groomer that does have something like an hour block available. So yeah, the idea is you could do that with every groomer here. And then you mentioned the email confirmation. I think that's a great idea. So you could enable or disable this. So if you were starting out and you wanted to be able to specify, send me an email before I accept the appointment, what this would do is send you an email and you could basically sign off on or approve the booking. I'm putting my email here just because I'm going to switch to my Gmail and show you the email that this prototype sends to give you an idea of how that would work. Okay. So this would be the settings, right? And then if we go into pet profiles. So this is an idea I partially picked up from two other groomers, one that's in South Jersey and one that's in Florida. But this applies to what you're talking about with the Great Pyrenees. So if you had a Great Pyrenees, you knew this customer, and you said, this dog is huge. So maybe it would be like 100, 141, 145 pounds. And let's say you want to specify it has a history of mats. That sounds like a big job, right? And let's say you want to allow the three groomers at the shop to be able to do it. But since you're in that list, you could also specify a custom price as well as a custom amount of time required. So let's say you want to up this to 100 bucks more. That way, when the customer's booking their dog, there's no surprises around the price because you have an existing customer. You know that when they're booking, identified by their phone number or email address, they have a custom price for their dog. So they have no surprises. You have no surprises on price, but also no surprises on the amount of time, because in this kind of pet profile idea, you'd also have the ability to change the amount of time it takes to do this. Let's say you want to make this take 120 minutes, 2 hours, right? Because it's a big dog. So this would make the dog be unable to book in your time slot, but maybe somebody else that has a bigger time slot. So that's the idea, where you would have separate pet profile. The pet profile should be tucked into where you're creating customers and creating their pets, which I do have in this app that I've built for my cousin, but it's for now. I'm just showing it all together here. So here you have the actual. This is a prototype proposal idea of the booking widget. So this is a thing that you could embed into your website, or click out of your website into another one. And I have an example here where if you type 555 555 5555, that becomes an existing customer. So click continue, choose the pet. Let's say we pick Zoe from above. She's the Great Pyrenees. Click continue. So you can see the custom groom price here is 175. And then, so if we pick that and we click next. And then if you select the date that you want, so let's say you want to go to the future, let's say I want to pick the second, because you have the limitation set on, you're the only groomer for this dog, and the dog has a 30-minute blocks that are available, but the dog takes 120 minutes. It gets blocked from booking you. We just tell the customer that they can give you guys a call to kind of assess it by hand. But again, all of this I can change around. If there's anything that you feel like would close a gap or make this easier to use, or something I can take away, I'm happy to do that.